I have to do it. I have to do it. I don't talk about Fairy Tail consistently anymore, but sometimes I just have to say something.
I want to say this real quick before I begin this video. If you're easily offended by any harsh words towards something you like, I recommend you do not continue on with this video.
I'm just going to go and get this right out there because I'm not quite sure how to explain myself. I've tried to record this a billion times. So I'm just going to say I don't like this chapter or these chapters. I feel like every time I try and think of a positive way to feel about Fairy Tail, especially when it comes to chapters like this, is that it just gets thrown back in my face.
War God, my ass. These two chapters of Fairy Tail. The first one, I think it was what, 433, and then there was 434. 433 was a really good setup. Like, I really thought, like, oh shit, you know, we got this war god and things is looking bleak. That guy fried his face just so he could be able to do this. I was like, this is hype. 434, Plotsu comes in. Yes, we're calling him Plotsu right now because
I don't even know, like, I should have expected this. Now, before I get into this video, I want to point out 3 things that I'll be addressing in this video. Number 1, we're going to look at the chapter itself. Number 2, I'm going to expose and basically address the Fairy TARDS opinions on this. And number 3, I'm basically going to just talk about Hiro Mashima sort of being a bad writer, which won't really be much, but still. Mainly it's just going to be the beef and the meat and the potatoes is just going to be me addressing this chapter in the Fairy TARDS. And if you think that Fairy Tail is a quality series, if you think that Natsu Dragoneel actually has potential by one-shotting that god, leave the video. If you think Natsu Dragoneel is a good character, leave the video. If you think any character in Fairy Tail is good, if you think if you love the friendship speeches, if you think that's meaningful, if that gives you the feels, leave the freaking video.
I know there's gonna be comments like this. Don't bother with the, if you don't like it, why do you read it? If you don't like it, why are you reviewing it? If you're gonna leave one of those comments, I'm gonna need you to take a step back. Maybe just for a second, go ahead and fuck yourself. Yeah, so here we go. Here's a quiz. Fairy Tail quiz for you. Which fight in Fairy Tail am I talking about? Villain says that friends are useless, maybe even hurts his own comrades. Natsu gets angry and yells that friends are important, and that friends are the light guiding his heart, or such things. Which fight? Yeah, exactly. Need I say any more? Did I not just prove my point right there? I mean...
What was the point? What's the point of this arc? Is it to show that Natsu is super strong now? I mean, yeah, I mean, kind of... The whole Blue Note thing, where he kind of one-shots him, and a god, he took down a god fairly easy, and yeah, you could say, oh yeah, it was because of his training, the time skip. I'm not gonna say much more than that because we don't know what Natsu did during the time skip to kind of back up what he's just done. He's defeated one of the war gods, the god of war, which is, you know, something that is pretty big.
What was the point in this arc? That's the first thing I want to mention right now. What was the fucking point of this arc? Yes, fine, Fairy Tail members, fine. Okay, fine, fuck it, okay. What was the point, though, of Avatar? They've been a bunch of crusty little shit faces. They're terrible. They're fucking terrible. They're really fucking terrible. Like, what the fuck? Terrible. Like, dude, this shit is so bad, we're going south into shit even more. Like, I've come to just look at Fairy Tail as an entertainment series. I know I should look at Fairy Tail like that. Understand. That's how I should look at Fairy Tail. But here's the thing, okay? You don't introduce a god. A god. Not just specifically Fairy Tail. You don't introduce a fucking god into a series. Any form of literature. If Taizai was to do this, I would fucking rant. If Taizai was to do this.
Have Natsu running up, and after we see this god of war, I forgot what his name is. He's not Kratos. I know that because they actually put Kratos in there. The God of War fans are going to be mad. But still, Natsu is running up. He's running up on this man's sword. And you see the destructiveness that this God of War causes. Some of you might say, well, apparently gods aren't as powerful. No, in any sort of fiction, I don't care if you believe in God or not. I believe in God, but it doesn't matter. In any sort of fiction, the God character is supposed to be the most powerful being. I mean, look at Dragon Ball Z. Beerus, the Destroyer, is the god of that universe. He and Goku, you know, it was a very good fight, but at the end of the day, Goku could not defeat Beerus. So then, by this logic of fairy tale, we can see that, I mean, by this logic, if Natsu can one-shot a god, I'm just gonna say that maybe Natsu is more powerful than Goku. Exactly.
I understand the concept. I get it. This is to showcase that Fairy Tail has grown, Natsu has grown, and he's able to take on the big dogs, but it's just ridiculous. How you showcase that, you want to showcase it in a proper manner. Get somebody, say, back in the days, his power was comparable to Zeref. And then you have Natsu have a good fight with him. Ultimately, yeah, okay, he'll defeat him, but he'll have a good fight where he gets fucked up a little bit, and then it showcases, okay, if this guy was on par with Zeref back in the day, and Natsu was able to beat him, then maybe he'll be able to take on the real Zeref power at some given point, or the Acnologia, whatever the case may be. But you get one of these 18 war gods, and I think they've been referenced for a while since Grand Magic Games, might be mistaken, but you get one of these war gods, and Natsu beats him in one blow. Like, honestly, Avatar is ass. All of them suck. They're garbage. They're shit. And then you get this war god, and I'm thinking like, yo, we got Kratos up in this bitch, and Natsu runs up his sword and beats the fuck out of him after saying, I love my friends. Friends are awesome. Like,
it's always exactly the same. The villain hurts his comrades. Oh, how could you hurt your own comrades? Comrades are not anything. No, friends are special. Every time. This is why I give Mashima no credit for putting out 2 chapters, 4 issues in a row. Because the content is garbage. It's easy to put out 2 chapters 4 weeks in a row if the chapters are just the exact things you've already drawn and written dozens of times. It's literally the same, as he always does. It's absolutely ridiculous. He doesn't one-shot the battle god, he 2-shots it, so I guess there's that. Although, not really any effort, no struggle, no lightning, no dragon force. A god of battle or whatever. So really, let's just get to Zeref, clearly the only one who can challenge Natsu. Whole arc still remains pointless because nothing has changed. This guy brought about nothing new at all. Gray wasn't actually developing as a character and going through a change. Nothing has changed, nothing has mattered, so this arc still proves that it doesn't need to be happening. I can only assume that's why Mashima's doing 2 chapters every week, because he knows it too. This is bullshit, I gotta rush through this.
Comrades are the people that share the same purpose and move forward with you. Yes, they do. And he says, their purpose doesn't even have to be the same as yours. Wait, did I read that right? Did I read that right? Comrades are the people that share the same purpose and move forward with you. Their purpose doesn't even have to be the same as yours. Wouldn't that make you an acquaintance? That wouldn't even make you a comrade nor a friend.
Ben, guess what? Next chapter. One shot a fucking god. One shot a fucking god. Are you fucking kidding me? I know Natsu's in. I know he's in. Okay? I know he can fight the Black Wizard Zeref, the final villain. Understandable. Okay? But you don't introduce a god. You don't write saying this is a god of war. Powerful god. When you think of a god, what do you think of? An all-powerful being that will put up a very fucking good fight.
You guys, how can you say that this is a good arc? I'm getting Grand Magic 5 games arc. Yeah, Grand Magic Games arc vibes, bro. like chapter 321, they degraded the character. Chapter 434, what do we see? We see the first time we see guys in Fairy Tail, we actually get to see a pretty good fight. And I was gonna think it was gonna be a good fight, but no. All fights now in Fairy Tail are just into one chapter. And then the thing is, the fights aren't even good. They aren't.
Who's still buying into this? Who is still reading this and thinking, yeah, Fairy Tail's just the greatest? Other than underrated game. Other than him. Because, I mean... And it, once again, it's One Piece. I won't lose anyone anymore. Flashback of one panel of your recently deceased family member who used fire, followed by a big attack with fire coming from the fist. And I know Natsu generally has fire coming from his fist, but still, the words were practically exactly the same, and then the one panel flashback, and then the attack. It's not debatable anymore. I used to defend Fairy Tail and say that it didn't rip off One Piece. It's no longer debatable. I've flipped sides 100%. Fairy Tail rips off One Piece constantly.
Expose. If you play the weak, nigga, you expose. If you play the weak, nigga, you expose. Expose. And expose. If you play the Wii, you an undercover gay. I told you nigga gay. Expose. Omega gang in this bitch. Omega Entertainment, bitch. Exposed.
It's exactly the same as every single time in Fairy Tail, let alone other shonen. That's how it is in Fairy Tail all the time.